Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about complex fractions, which means you have fractions over fractions. Okay? Now, here's the thing. We look at this. See, we've already dealt with this here, haven't we? Added the fractions, so this is what I recommend doing. Just look at the top. So common denominator between 5 and 4, 20. So I'd have to multiply this one by 4 over 4 and this one by 5 over 5. So I get 8, 5. So the top is 13 over 20. Now look at the bottom. What's the least common denominator between 2 and 3? 6. So 3, 3, 2, 2. So I get 3 over 6 plus 2 over 6, so I get 5 over 6. So now we look at this problem here, and it is 13 over 20 divided by 5 over 6, which means you need to go 6 over 5, 6 over 5. And you can say 3 and 10, but that's it, so you'd have 39 over 50. Okay? But the key there is, see how I simplified the top, simplified the bottom, then rewrote it. Let's take a look at another. Okay. So, first thing I have to do here, see how these are separate? I got to put them together. If I put this over 1, what's the least common denominator between 1 and 2? 2. So I have, multiply this by 2 over 2, so I have 2m over 2 plus 1 over 2. Well, that equals 2m plus 1 over 2. Because see, when they're the same denominator like this, you can just add the top together and keep one denominator. Okay? Now if I look at the bottom, it's not simplify, it's also factor. So there's nothing I can add or subtract, but is there anything I could factor out? Yeah, there's a 3. So watch what I do. So right now, here's the bottom, here's the top, so rewrite it. 2m plus 1 over 2 divided by 3 times 2m plus 1 over 4. Multiply by the reciprocal. So you flip it. These cancel. Now the top, I can say 1, 2, and this cancel. So I get 2 over 3. Okay? So let's take a look at some more now. So this problem is almost the same. So we're still going to get the 2m plus 1 over 2 for the top. But the bottom, when we factor out now, is going to end up being, it's still the 3, 2m plus 1, but instead of 4, it's just 4m. But again, just multiply by the reciprocal. So you have 4m over 3 times 2m plus 1. These all cancel, and then here 2m plus 1's cancel, the 2 and the 4 simplify, so this time it's 2m over 3. That was the only difference. So just because that m's there doesn't mean it can't simplify, okay? So let's take a look at another one. Okay, we already did this one. Not sure why it's in here. Let's move on. Alright, we got to jump down all the way to example 7 without having a repeat, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but we got to simplify this. So we check. Can we factor anything out of the top? No. How about the bottom? Yes, this one. So the top is still 5x over x minus 7. The bottom is 10 over, we'll multiply as a positive 7, adds to negative 8, negative 7, negative 1. Okay, so now we got to multiply by the reciprocal. So these all cancel, so it's 1. So now this x minus 7 and this x minus 7 cancel. This 5 changes to 1, the 10 changes to 2. So what am I left with? I still have x minus 1 times 1, and then when the bottom's gone, it's like a 1 times 2. So you have x minus 1 over 2. Okay, let's take a look at some more. Alright, here, there's no factoring or simplifying to do. Well, there's one. We gotta, so this is going to be 27r to the third over 10t to the fourth divided by 9r over 4t squared. Now we can multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so let's see. That would be a 1, that would be a 3. R changes this to r squared. 2 goes into 4 twice, 10 5 times. T squared makes this t squared on the bottom. So you have 3 times 2 on the top, so 6. And then you have r squared still. And that gets rid of the top. And then you have 5 times 1 times t squared. So you have 5t squared. Okay, but still the same process. You just multiply by the reciprocal like we have been for ever since you learned how to divide by fractions. Okay? Let's take a look at another. So here's the thing. This is the bottom, this is the top. So watch what I do here when I factor this. I'm going to factor out a 4, get x plus 4 over 1. So there's my new top. The bottom, this is going to factor into x plus 5, x plus 4 over x minus 1. So now when I multiply by the reciprocal, these cancel. See, because I added this over 1, now you see the tops and the bottoms. And we can see these are going to cancel, but that's going to be it. So what are you left with? 4 times x minus 1 over x plus 5. You can leave it just like that. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at another. One more. Alright. So, first thing we got to do, what's the common denominator between x and y? Well, it's going to be x over y plus xy. So, what would I have to multiply the first one by? Y over y. The second one, x over x. So, this is going to be yx. And remember, this is going to simplify down to y plus x over xy. Now the second one here, I'm going to have to go x squared, y squared is the common denominator. So this is going to be y squared, and x squared over x squared. So this is going to be y squared minus x squared, which is y squared minus x squared over x squared y squared. But now this top one factors right here. This one factors. So it's going to end up being y minus x, y plus x over x squared y squared. So now if you think about it, we're doing this divided by this. So we need to do the reciprocal of this one. So you go x squared y squared over y minus x, y plus x. So the y plus x cancels. This x takes away the squared. This y reduces that to 1. So what are you left with? X times y over y minus x. Okay? So there is simplifying complex fractions, which is just combining what we've been doing the last few days. So we'll see you guys in class.